Do you believe that with just $400 a month, you can still live in places with blue oceans, pleasant climates, comfortable food costs, and even enjoy a slower, more peaceful life than in the US? It sounds like a dream, but it's real. And what's even more surprising is that these places aren't remote little villages, but vibrant cities with culture, nature, international communities, and above all, costs so low you wouldn't believe them. In fact, more and more American retirees are leaving expensive cities to seek these budget paradises, places where $400 not only covers your needs, but lets you live more relaxed, more enriched, and sometimes happier. If you're asking yourself, is there anywhere I can live comfortably on $400 a month? The answer is yes, and not just one place, but an entire list waiting for you to explore. Get ready. The journey to beautiful, affordable, safe, and livable destinations is about to begin. And who knows? The place meant for you might be right on this list. Dream it. Pack it. Go. 5. Castelo Branco, Portugal, a land poetically called the slumbering Baroque Valley, has long been a quiet yet deeply appealing destination for Americans seeking a retirement where life is no longer governed by fast-paced rhythms or the high costs of home. This is the kind of city where the moment you arrive, you feel your heartbeat slow down, as if someone has turned the volume of life down to its gentlest level. Among ancient stone-paved streets, the intricate sculpted gardens of Jardim do Pacho, and buildings that still carry whispers of the 13th century, Castelo Branco offers a sense of both timelessness and safety that few places in Europe can match. The cost of living is one of the reasons many Americans choose this place, not because it is super cheap in a touristy, too-good-to-be-true way, but because it is realistic and sufficient for a retiree to live comfortably without sacrificing quality of life. Renting a room or a small apartment on the outskirts of the city typically costs around $250 to $350, suitable for those with a modest budget. By living simply, buying fresh food from local markets, cooking at home, and limiting luxury expenses, total monthly spending can fall within the $400 to $600 range, a number that touches the dreams of those seeking peace, while still allowing them to feel like they are living in Europe without extreme belt-tightening. Those who prefer a more spacious lifestyle will certainly need a higher budget, but retirees choosing a minimalist lifestyle are generally satisfied with this level. Even so, what makes Castelo Branco a choice for older Americans is not only the matter of money. This place offers a level of safety that many cities in the United States today can no longer maintain. Low crime, a connected community, and a calm pace of life. You can walk through the old town in the evening, feeling the warm yellow lights cast onto the stone walls without carrying the quiet caution that often comes with unfamiliar places. That sense of peace is not exaggerated marketing. It is something the locals consider a simple fact of life. For retirees, healthcare is even more important. Castelo Branco has a public hospital that adequately meets basic needs, along with many private clinics staffed by friendly doctors, some of whom can communicate in English. Healthcare costs in Portugal are already well known for being reasonable, and private insurance for foreign residents who are young and healthy is often far lower than what American patients must pay back home. This creates a particular sense of security, especially for those who want to spend their later years in tranquility rather than in medical billing anxiety. The culture of Castelo Branco is a subtle treasure for those who love authenticity. You might see locals gathering at the market in the morning, buying fresh produce directly from the farmers who grew it. At the Francisco Tavares Proença Jr. Museum, every stitch of the traditional Castelo Branco embroidery is preserved as a mirror reflecting the past. The people here are unhurried, not loud, always ready with a smile even if English is not their strongest language. And that creates a very different feeling, a sincerity that many American retirees feel is missing in modern life. Nature surrounds Castelo Branco like moving paintings. Olive hills stretch endlessly, vineyards shimmer under the sun, and the air is so clean you can feel the difference in your very first breaths. When you want a change of scenery, just an hour's drive takes you to Serra da Estrela, the highest mountain in mainland Portugal, where winter sparkles with snow and summer brings a rare coolness in the inland Mediterranean climate. From Castelo Branco, traveling to Lisbon or Porto by train takes only a few hours, creating a sense of being far yet close. You live in peace, but you are not isolated from the world. Transportation within the city is as gentle as the people who live here. You can walk almost anywhere in the center, take a bus when needed, or use taxis at still affordable prices. This is a city where owning a car is not a necessity, especially for those who want to spend their retirement years living slowly, strolling leisurely, and observing life in its most authentic form. Castelo Branco, in the truest sense, is not for everyone. It is not for those seeking a fast-paced life, large shopping malls, or a bustling expat community, but for American retirees looking for a place with affordable costs, safety, stable healthcare, pure culture, and proximity to nature, while being willing to live within a 400-600 budget through a minimalist yet fulfilling lifestyle. Castelo Branco is truly a small European reward, a peaceful haven where you can lay down the final years of your life without feeling lonely or pressured. If you want to explore more deeply which regions best fit a 400-600 budget, or if you'd like me to analyze whether this place is right for you, leave a comment. What would you like me to help you with next? 4. Yogyakarta, Indonesia, often called the spiritual capital of Java, is where many American retirees go when they want a peaceful yet never boring life. A life in which each day has its own colors, sounds, and breath. This city doesn't try to lure you with anything flashy. It invites you by slowly telling a story. The story of Java, of vibrant culture, of gentle people, and of a pace of life slow enough for the heart to finally hear itself again. There was an American man named David, 67, who once said he came to Jogja just for a month, but ended up staying nearly a year. He said what kept him there wasn't the cheap cost or the beautiful scenery, but the very first morning he sat on the porch of a small house in the Sleeman area, watching the mist float over the rice fields. He said, "For the first time in 40 years, I felt like I wasn't in a hurry anymore." That moment made him realize he had found the right place to begin the rest of his life. A place so gentle it makes people want to live slower, breathe deeper, and be kinder to themselves. For Americans who are used to high prices, life on the outskirts of Yogyakarta opens an entirely new door. With a budget of just $420-600 per month, you can still live freely and comfortably in the local style. Rent a clean room for about $120-150. Rent a small house for around $150-200. Enjoy lunches for just over $1. Drink coffee so cheap it makes you smile, and get around by Ojek for only a few dozen cents. The low cost doesn't make you feel deprived. On the contrary, it gives you back the ability to enjoy life without the financial stress you had in the US. Yogyakarta offers a rare harmony: culture and nature, tradition and modernity, peace and vibrancy. In the morning, you can learn to paint batik with local residents. In the afternoon, sip coffee to acoustic music. And in the evening, watch a wayang shadow puppet performance, an ancient art form the Javanese preserve as part of their soul. In the outskirts, life is even slower. Children play outside, adults drink afternoon tea, and everyone is friendly in the most natural way. This is one of the few places where foreigners do not feel out of place, because here, hospitality is a way of being, not a performance. For retirees, Yogyakarta's safety brings a great sense of reassurance. Violent crime is rare, and risks such as petty theft or tourist scams are easy to avoid and uncommon in residential outskirts. The city's healthcare system is also sufficient for everyday needs. Modern private hospitals, doctors who can communicate in basic English, and medical costs far cheaper than in the US. Everything here seems designed so you can live peacefully without sacrificing comfort. Jogja's nature has a very distinct character. The majestic Merapi volcano to the north, the vast Parangtritis beach to the south, and between them countless small villages, hot springs, waterfalls, and country roads so beautiful you'll want to slow your motorbike just to look a little longer. And when you stand at Borobudur at sunrise, or quietly watch Prambanan under the afternoon sun, you will understand why this place makes many Americans feel that life becomes lighter. Getting around is surprisingly easy. With $1, you can go almost anywhere in the city by ojek. The Transjogja bus system is cheap and convenient, and if you stay longer, a motorbike costing only around $250, $330 is enough for you to explore every corner of Java. Life here is simple, but not inconvenient. Ultimately, Yogyakarta is not a place for those seeking luxury or Western-style modern living, but for American retirees who want peace, who want to slow down, who want to feel culture, who want reasonable spending, and who want their later years to feel meaningful. Jogja is the special gift Southeast Asia has reserved just for them. A place where every moment, no matter how small, can become something to remember. Would you like me to analyze which area of Yogyakarta best fits your lifestyle or budget? Leave a comment. I'm ready to write whatever part you need next. 3. Mostar. Bosnia and Herzegovina, the city known as the Valley of the Ancient Bridge over the jade-green Neretva River, astonishes the world each year as hundreds of athletes dive from the nearly 20-meter-high Starry Most into icy waters during a globally famous competition. Mediterranean sunlight reflects off the red rooftops, cheers echo through the limestone valley, and in that moment, many first-time visitors to Mostar fall silent. Not because of the thrill of the jump, but because of the solemn, peaceful beauty that makes time seem to slow down. Few would expect that just a few kilometers beyond the tourist center, the outskirts of Mostar are becoming a quietly captivating refuge for American retirees who want to live in Europe without paying European prices. The outskirts of Mostar are composed of low hills, vineyards, simple old houses, and small roads leading toward the valley. In the morning, there are birdsong. In the afternoon, the smell of grilled cevapi. And in the evening, you can sit on the balcony watching Mount Hum in the distance change color with the sunlight. American retirees choose this area not only for its beauty, but for its peace. You can rent a simple but clean apartment for around $160 to $220 per month, sometimes even with a small garden or a mountain view. Local food is fresh, cheap, and easy to cook. Family-run eateries are as gentle as the people who live here. Adding utilities, winter heating, and transportation by walking or taxi, a monthly expense of $450 to $580 for a slow, civilized, and emotionally rich life is entirely feasible in the outskirts of Mostar. The city has an atmosphere many Americans think exists only in memories. Children playing outside during the day, adults sitting in cafes with a strong Bosnian coffee that costs just over $1. And in the evenings, sometimes entire neighborhoods leave their doors open to chat under warm yellow lights. Safety is a major plus. Violent crime is rare. Locals are friendly. And if you live in areas like Bijeli Brijeg or Balinovac, the pace of life is even calmer. Places where you can easily fit in with just a simple Dobar Dan. The healthcare system in Mostar is adequate for basic needs. There is a major university hospital, private clinics, and consultation fees are significantly cheaper than in the US, even when paying out of pocket. For issues requiring more complex equipment, Sarajevo or Croatia are only a few hours away. But it is the low-stress lifestyle, clean air, and fresh food that act as the therapy many retirees say makes them feel healthier. As for culture, Mostar is a living painting of two worlds. Just by walking across the starry Most Bridge, you move from an Ottoman-influenced quarter to a European-style one. Church bells blend with the call to prayer. Old tea houses sit beside modern cafes, and traditional markets selling carpets and copperware stand next to Western-style boutiques. Living in the outskirts, you're only a few minutes by taxi from all that cultural fusion. Morning coffee, afternoon markets, strolls through stone streets, then returning home as the valley lights up. And the best part is how close nature is. Kravica Waterfall, the Buna Spring, Mount Velej, the icy cold Neretva River, and the crystal blue Adriatic Sea just an hour away, all lie within your weekend radius. No noise, no high prices, no extravagance, just raw beauty, kind people, and a pace of life slow enough for you to rediscover yourself. If you're looking for a place to enjoy retirement in a relaxed way, plenty of sunshine, fragrant coffee, peaceful evening walks, and without needing a massive budget, then the outskirts of Mostar are a door waiting to open. If you want to continue exploring more livable destinations for American retirees, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next journey. 2. Armenia, Colombia, the city known as the warm heart of the Andean coffee triangle, once made headlines nationwide when its local football team achieved a historic victory against opponents many times stronger in the National League. But behind the stadium lights that night, there is another Armenia. Quiet, green, slow living, and filled with the aroma of coffee. A place where more and more American retirees are coming to enjoy a simple yet richly experienced old age. The story I want to tell begins on an early morning. An American man, retired from Florida, stopped at a small roadside Tinto stall. The shop owner, an elderly Colombian woman with hair silver like mist, asked him in a warm Andean voice, "Do you want it strong or light today?" He chose strong. After the first sip, he laughed. "This is the best cup of coffee I've had in my entire life." The old woman pointed toward the green hills in the distance. "Because it comes from that very hill." Just a small moment like that. But many people say it is exactly the feeling that makes them stay in Armenia. The simplicity, sincerity, and peace that you thought had disappeared somewhere in the pace of modern life. Unlike the dreamy Mostar or the tranquil Jogja, Armenia and its brother city Manizales nearby makes an impression with its year-round spring climate. Not hot, not cold, no air conditioning, no heating. Surrounding it are UNESCO-listed coffee hills, both beautiful and healing. The pace of life is slow, the people are gentle, and every afternoon carries the faint aroma of freshly roasted coffee. You live as if inside a Latin American romantic film, but without the expense. The actual cost for an American retiree to live in Armenia or Manizales is only about $400–570 per month if you adopt the local lifestyle. Rent around $200–250, abundant but inexpensive food, no cost for air conditioning, taxis for just a few dollars, and specialty coffee for less than $1. This is a level of spending rarely found in the safe, civilized parts of South America. What is most precious about Armenia is its people. Not flashy, not chaotic. They are warm and incredibly hospitable. Here, you are not just a foreigner, you are the new neighbor. You'll be invited to family lunches, taught salsa right in someone's living room, and told stories about generations of coffee-growing pride. You'll also experience the youthful spirit of Manizales, the university city, where festival nights, street music, international theater, and student culture create a completely different kind of energy, joyful, creative, and full of life. As for healthcare, Colombia surprisingly has one of the best healthcare systems in Latin America. Low cost, with well-trained doctors. Private consultations cost only 20–30 dollars. Medications are inexpensive, and hospitals are modern. Many Americans even choose Manizales for dental care or routine checkups because the quality is high yet very affordable. As for safety, the coffee region is actually one of the safest areas in Colombia. Manizales has repeatedly ranked as one of the safest cities. Serious crime is rare, locals are friendly, and you only need the same basic precautions you would take in any city in the world. As for nature, it's a place where in the morning you see clouds drifting lazily over the valley, and in the afternoon a light rain falls and then clears. On weekends, you can visit the Cocora Valley to see the world's tallest wax palms, or go to hot springs in the Andes. Clean air, abundant greenery, and almost no pollution. A major gift for retirees. In Armenia or Manizales, you can choose to live in convenient central areas, or in safe middle-class neighborhoods like La Castellana, Armenia, or Palermo, Manizales. All are close to supermarkets, cafes, buses, hospitals, and fit your modest budget. If you want a retirement that is easier, cheaper, and warmer, where every day begins with a cup of coffee grown on the hill right in front of you, then Colombia's Coffee Triangle is a choice well worth considering. If you enjoy this series exploring the best places for American retirees, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can continue this journey together. 1. La Ceiba, Honduras, the last affordable Caribbean. La Ceiba has a charm all its own. Jade-green Caribbean waters, the steep Pico Bonito rainforest rising behind the city, and a festive atmosphere that always feels like the start of a new summer. Each year, Carnaval de la Ceiba turns the entire city into a massive parade. But what catches the eye of American retirees is something completely different. Unbelievably low costs. Americans receive a 90-day visa exemption, which can be extended to 180 days. Simple, easy, and perfect for anyone wanting to test live a few months by the Caribbean Sea before making a long-term decision. While many coastal cities in the region have become expensive, La Ceiba remains simple and affordable. A one-bedroom apartment on the outskirts costs only $220–$280, local-style food about $150–$180, and utilities and transportation another $40–$60. The total real cost is just $380–$450 per month, a standard of living many Americans describe as a dream come true. But La Ceiba isn't just cheap, it is beautiful in a wonderfully generous way. In the morning, you can walk along the beach and watch fishermen return with their boats. By noon, you can be trekking through the Pico Bonito rainforest, and by sunset, you can lie on the sand, listening to the Caribbean waves whisper. Just a 20-minute boat ride takes you to Cayos Cochinos, one of the most pristine coral archipelagos in Central America. The locals are gentle, love to smile, and always help foreigners. The Zona Viva area is both safe and lively, while El Porvenir is peaceful and extremely suitable for anyone wanting to live near the beach, but away from tourist noise. I once met a 60-year-old man from Texas who said, "As long as I can open my door and see the ocean every morning, I know I'm never going back to my old life." In La Ceiba, what keeps people staying isn't just the cheap rent. It's the feeling that life is genuinely lighter. Even though each country has its own identity, they all reveal one remarkable truth. With $400 a month, you can still live comfortably, safely, and full of experiences abroad. It could be a morning in Colombia's coffee mountains, an afternoon listening to the waves in Honduras, or an evening strolling through a European old town. Moments that once felt luxurious but are now within reach. If you're searching for a lighter life, lower costs, and better quality, these destinations offer a real opportunity to open a new chapter in your journey. And now, I want to hear from you. Where would you choose to live on $400 a month? Leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next amazing destination.